Age of Ultron Spider-Man is confirmed as the superior Spider-Man, and Doc is furious. How could Ultron cause so much devastation while he did nothing? Doc decides he must get away from the Avengers, foolish weaknesses who did nothing but bring Peter Parker down. Doc plans on fixing the problem himself. But before he can get away, Tony Stark comes to Doc with a plan of his own. Stark has little faith in Cap's plan and believes tech available in the remains of the Horizon Lab will lead to a more permanent solution. Essentially, Stark needs Doc to recreate tech Stark himself developed that will transport Ultron's central control hub into the negative zone. But once Doc gets back to the Horizon, he has plans of his own. Using his remaining Spider-Bot army, he takes control of Ultron's sentries, but his victory is short-lived. The sentries quickly adapt and converge on his location. Realizing he failed, Doc attempts a last-ditch effort to follow through on Tony's plan, but he has wasted too much time. A humbler, resigned Doc returns to Tony Stark, having realized he cannot do this alone. Perhaps Spider-Man needs the Avengers.
I think the biggest takeaway from this issue is that it's actually Doc Ock and not Peter Parker. I know a lot of us were speculating about that, for multiple issues now.
Yeah.
And now we have some certainty, which is good. We were arguing a little bit in previous issues about how long has passed since Age of Ultron, and we get some more concrete evidence in this one. Doc Ock uses his Spider-Bot army.
Yeah.
In this one, which is a nice way to tie it into Superior Spider-Man itself.
One thing I liked about this issue was how Doc really handles the entire situation of being involved in the team. I mean, he obviously learns a lesson at the end where it's, you gotta trust your allies. And he goes in there with the villain's mindset of, everyone else around me is just, useless. I gotta do this myself.
He even just completely disregards Tony Stark's plan to just come up with his own.
And I actually thought it was similar to Death of the Family, where Joker comes in with the opinion that everything is making Bruce weaker, all his Bat family. And Doc seems to come in with the idea that Peter is weakened by the Avengers.
Right, and it's what Batman basically explains to the Joker, and what Doc Ock discovers at the end, is allies make you stronger in the end. And that's kind of a nice takeaway, I think.
Mm-hmm.
One cool cameo in this issue, though, was Quicksilver.
Haven't seen that guy in ages.
No. At least we know he's still there.
Yeah, still around, though the bigger question is, where are the other Maximoff family members?
He's the one you want the least. Magneto would be great against Ultron. Wanda would just be instant fix.
Instant fix, I think it'd be great now that we know that Vision is involved.
Yeah.
It's a whole new dynamic that would be very interesting to see played out.
He's going to be like, you going to kill me again? So jumping back to Tony Stark's plan, how he just wants to shove Ultron into the negative zone. What did you think of that?
I thought that was a pretty good plan compared to a lot of the other plans we've seen so far.
It's basically like scorched earth, though. You're just going to sacrifice.
At a point where even Tony Stark seems to indicate that you're at a point where sacrifices need to be made. He is a part of the Illuminati, so this is the type of decision I think he would be prepared to make. And it fits in with how screwed they are. I mean, at this point, they have no options, so why not just throw them into the negative zone?
So the Superior Spider-Man basically just said, screw Tony Stark's plan. Once I get in the Horizon, I'm just going to do my own thing. What did you think of Peter's plan?
I thought it was a decent plan because it was actually trying to just take over the entire mechanism. Because everything is controlled by these patrols, and so he's trying to go for the control mechanism.
Right.
And obviously he fails, and...
No, I completely agree with you. At least he tried. He went for the win rather than... Tony Stark's plan seemed to be more like a stall, in my opinion.
Yeah, he's just going to sort of shunt the problem a little bit, but the wider thing is still there.
Whereas Doc Ock just went for, the silver bullet solution.
Yeah. I like how he just has so much confidence in himself. He just believes he can do anything. It's like, Doom was able to control this guy. I can do it.
I'm better than Zoom. I'm the superior Spider-Man. I'm going to be the superior Ultron.
Yeah.
And he's already planning what the new world's going to be. He's like, I'm going to rebuild it better.
I know. I love how full of himself he is. Though he does, become a little bit more humble at the end where he learns his lesson. But still, I don't know how long that's going to last.
I'm definitely going to say, though, that both of their plans were better than Captain America's plan.
Cap's plan is garbage.
I mean, we'll talk about it a little bit in our Age of Ultron number 3 review.
The one thing this whole situation provides is a way for Doc Ock to feel a little bit more like Peter Parker, I believe. Because it really lets him feel the despair that Peter Parker really feels.
Like on a daily basis.
Yeah.
How everything always goes against him.
Yeah, and Doc even has these. He shows conflicted emotions throughout the entire issue, where he really feels for the people that Peter lost. You know, he brings up Aunt May, the people at Horizon. But then, right afterwards, he shifts back into the Doc Ock mentality of, I don't need those people anyway. Those people are weak.
But after his plan fails, he really, like you said, shows a lot of humility and kind of like almost falls into that despair. It really just reinforces how desperate the world is in Age of Ultron. Like, I actually haven't gotten that entire feeling from the main series itself. I feel like it was this issue specifically that made me think, wow, they're really screwed this time. This isn't just another quick fix waiting to happen.
So for Superior Spider-Man number 6 AU, what would you give it?
I'm going to give this issue a 4.5 out of 5. It was such a great self-contained story. It really showed Doc Ock's character grow, and it also just showed the kind of destruction caused by this Age of Ultron.
I give this issue a 4 out of 5. Every time I see Doc Ock, I'm liking him more and more. And this issue shows that Doc can change. Hopefully that carries over more and more into the original title. Thanks for watching B3 Comics review of Superior Spider-Man number 6 AU. Before we go, we have a question for you.
We saw multiple plans throughout this week in Age of Ultron. Tony Stark's, Captain America's, and Superior Spider-Man's. Which of them do you think was the best?
You can leave your thoughts in the comments below, and like always, if you like what you see, give us a thumbs up.